Hey, we're over at GoToMath.com by request. We've got 5.2 coming up here. D of X. D stands for Dennis. I don't know, Dennis. I sent you an email like 5 times and it kept coming back. Failed delivery, so I can't understand it. Alright, so anyway, we've got to find the derivative using the definition, right? So we got d of x is equal to 4x over x plus 1. Thought I would just throw a number in there so it makes it look different every time. What are we doing? Let's go over to the whiteboard and get this thing worked out. So we've got d of x is equal to 4x over x plus 1. Did I even say what we're doing? I don't think I even mentioned it. Find the derivative using the definition. Okay, so I did now. So we're actually trying to find d prime of x. That will be the derivative. And we're going to use the definition. That would be the limit as delta x approaches 0 of d of x plus delta x minus d of x over delta x. Okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and find this guy right here. We'll do some side work right over here. So d of x plus delta x is equal to, so we take the x plus delta x, plug it in, so we end up with 4 times x plus delta x over x plus delta x plus 1. Okay, so the x plus delta x goes in right here. Alright, and then we go ahead and plug that in to our limit. Fill this stuff in. So this is going to end up being 4 times x plus delta x. We should have went ahead and distribute that across, but I guess we'll do that here in a minute. And then we have x plus delta x plus 1, now that's going to take care of this piece here, minus the d of x, which is 4x over x plus 1, and then of course that is going to all be over delta x. And so what we'll need to do now is go ahead and get this thing all into one single fraction. So we got a bunch of work to do here. Bunch of arithmetic, basically. I'm going to go ahead and what are we going to do here? Let me just go. I'm going to distribute that across. We have 4x plus 4 delta x. Okay, and then that's going to be multiplied by x plus 1. That would be this x plus 1 multiplied up here, and then of course we'd be taking this, multiplying it across. So x plus delta x plus 1. Okay, and then, well, now we have a common denominator, and that is x plus delta x plus 1. This is not going to be nice. And then of course it's all over delta x. Okay, so now what we got going on here is we got to multiply this top together. Oh man, let's. I'm gonna do some side work here, of some kind. Okay, so we got 4x times x. What am I gonna do? I just don't know if we've got enough time. I've only got 10 minutes here. We have 4x times x is 4x squared. And then 4x times this is plus 4x. 4 delta x times plus 4x delta x. And then plus 4x. 4 delta x times 1 is plus 4 delta x. Okay. And then distribute this across, so we have minus 4x squared minus 4x delta x, and then minus 4x. That would be the negative 4x times 1 there. Alright, so we get a bunch of stuff to cancel out now. Anyway, but let's just go ahead and do this guy right here, a lovely thing. Okay, so we have x times x is x squared, and then we have x times 1 plus x, and then delta x times x is x times delta x, and then delta x times 1 delta x, and then let's see, 1 times x is x, and then 1 times 1 is 1. Now remember, this is still all over delta x. Okay, I guess we're making okay time. Let's go ahead and go through and cancel some stuff out up here. So 4x squareds cancel out. Right, the function's going to cancel out. That's what's going to happen here. And then 4x is going to cancel out. We've got a positive 4x and a negative 4x. And what are we left with? 4x delta x. That's kind of odd. 4x delta x minus 4. Okay, we're just going to have to trust the math on this. So we're left with a 4 delta x in the top. Now the bottom, what can we say about the bottom? I don't know. What can we say about the bottom? I guess I'm just going to rewrite this thing. Equal to the limit as delta x approaches 0. So the top is, the only thing was left was the 4 delta x on top. Now the bottom piece here, we can actually drop this down into the denominator. Okay, and I'm not going to distribute this delta x across for a good reason. We have an x and an x here. We can combine those actually to 2x. We have an x delta x, okay, plus x delta x, nothing we can do with that, and then plus delta x, and then plus 1. Alright, now the reason I didn't distribute this delta x across is because, as you can see here, we can cancel this delta x out. Those guys can cancel out. Okay, and so now we're left with the limit as delta x approaches 0 of 4 over x squared plus 2x plus x delta x plus delta x plus 1. Now we can finally take the limit. We can finally take the limit by plugging 0, doing the direct substitution in, plugging 0 in here, 0 in here. What's going on here? What is that? Get rid of that. Should have been a plus. Oh, I think it was a plus sign. So we'll plug 0, 0 in, so we're left with 4 over x squared plus 2x plus 1. And of course, this can actually be rewritten. We can factor this, and it becomes x plus 1 quantity squared. Okay, so that's going to end up being our d prime of x, 4 over x plus 1 quantity squared. Now let's go back to the web page, click on answer, 4 over x plus 1 quantity squared. All right, and of course we've got rules that make a huge shortcut to that stuff. You hadn't seen that yet, surely you have. I mean, we're in the middle of February here. We're at the end of February. You should be doing the rules of differentiation in most schools here in the U.S. Maybe even overseas, don't know. Anyway, so there it is. We're over here at, we're over here somewhere. We're over here at GoToMath.com practicing. Good luck, Dennis. See you later.